You who killed your mother to come into the world.
There is a specific kind of tragedy in thinking that if you are just smart enough or brave enough, your parents will finally love you. Tyrion Lannister has just saved the city. He has bled for his family. He expects a reward. But he is walking into a room with a man who does not care what Tyrion does, only what Tyrion is. This scene is a psychological battlefield. Tywin Lannister has arrived to take the credit for the victory, stripping Tyrion of his power and his dignity. Tyrion enters seeking validation. He leaves with a death sentence. Let's break down how Tywin Lannister systematically destroys his son's psyche.
The badge looks good on you. Almost as good as it looked on me.
Tyrion begins with a joke. This is his primary defense mechanism. He is acknowledging the power shift. Tywin holds the position now, but he uses humor to mask his insecurity.
Are you enjoying your new position?
He tries to engage his father as a peer. He is fishing for a human connection, asking a casual question about job satisfaction.
Am I enjoying it?
Tywin repeats the question with total disdain. To a narcissist like Tywin, enjoyment is a weakness. Ruling is a burden, a duty. By questioning the premise, he instantly makes Tyrion feel small and foolish.
I was very happy as Hand of the King.
Tyrion becomes vulnerable. He admits that the power gave him purpose. For the first time in his life, he felt he had value.
Yes, I heard how happy you were. You brought a whore into my bed.
This is the first psychological strike. Tywin ignores the strategy, the governance, and the defense of the city. He focuses entirely on the whore. This is Tywin's projection. He is obsessed with sexual purity because his own father, Tydos, was weak for women. He hates this trait in himself, so he attacks it in Tyrion.
It wasn't your bed at the time.
Tyrion attempts to correct him with logic and technicality. He thinks this is a debate. He doesn't realize it's a character assassination.
I sent you here to advise the king. He gave you real power and authority.
Tywin reframes the narrative. He claims ownership of Tyrion's success. I sent you. I gave you power. You are just an extension of my will.
You chose to spend your days, as you always have, bedding harlots and drinking with thieves.
Tywin rewrites reality. He reduces Tyrion's brilliant political alliances, Bronn, the Mountain Clans, Varys, to thieves and harlots. He refuses to see Tyrion's competence because it conflicts with his worldview that Tyrion is a failure.
Occasionally, I drank with the harlots.
Tyrion deflects with wit again, but the humor is hollow. He is realizing that his father is immune to charm.
What do you want, Tyrion?
Tywin cuts the conversation. To him, relationships are purely transactional. You don't talk to family for love. You talk to them to exchange favors.
Why does everyone assume I want something? Can't I simply visit with my beloved father?
Tyrion uses the word beloved with heavy irony. He is mocking the very idea of family because he knows there is no love in this room.
My beloved father, who somehow forgot to visit his wounded son after he fell on the battlefield.
Here the mask drops. The humor is gone. This is a traumatized child asking why his parent didn't care if he lived or died.
Maester Pycelle assured me your wounds were not fatal.
Tywin's response is chillingly clinical. He checked the status of the asset. The asset was functional. Therefore, no visit was required. He views his son as a piece of property.
I organized the defense of this city while you held court in the ruins of Harrenhal.
Tyrion starts listing his resume. He is desperate to contrast his action with Tywin's inaction. He is screaming, I am useful.
I led the foray when the enemies were at the gate, while your grandson, the king, quivered in fear behind the walls.
He compares himself to Joffrey. Joffrey is the golden child, the king, yet he was a coward. Tyrion is the monster, yet he was the hero. He wants Tywin to acknowledge this injustice.
I bled in the mud for our family, and as my reward, I was trundled off to some dark little cell.
This is the core of his resentment. He sacrificed his body for the name Lannister, and the family threw him in the trash.
But what do I want? A little bloody gratitude would be a start.
He finally admits the truth. He doesn't want gold. He wants his father to say thank you. He wants to be seen.
Jugglers and singers require applause. You are a Lannister.
Tywin delivers his philosophy. A lion does not ask for cookies. By asking for validation, Tyrion proves, in Tywin's eyes, that he is emotionally weak.
Do you think I demanded a garland of roses every time I suffered a wound on the battlefield?
Tywin projects his own stoicism onto his son. He is saying, I killed my own humanity to rule, so why haven't you?
Now, I have 7 kingdoms to look after, and 3 of them are in open rebellion.
He dismisses Tyrion's emotional needs as trivial distractions from the real work of empire building.
So, tell me what you want.
He forces the conversation back to a transaction. If it isn't applause, it must be something material.
I want what is mine by right.
Tyrion realizes emotional appeals are useless, so he pivots to the only language Tywin respects, the law.
Jaime is your eldest son, heir to your lands and titles, but he is a king's guard, forbidden from marriage or inheritance.
This is a logical trap. Tyrion is stating facts. He knows Tywin wants Jaime to be the heir, but the law explicitly forbids it.
The day Jaime put on the White Cloak, he gave up his claim to Casterly Rock.
Tyrion is closing the loop. He is forcing Tywin to choose. Do you care about the law, or do you care about your prejudice?
I am your son and lawful heir.
Checkmate. Legally, Tywin has no other option.
You want Casterly Rock.
Tywin is genuinely stunned. He never imagined the stunted little creature would have the audacity to claim the family seat.
It is mine by right.
Tyrion stands firm. He is no longer asking for a favor. He is demanding his inheritance.
We'll find you accommodations more suited to your name, and as a reward for your accomplishments during the Battle of Blackwater Bay.
Tywin starts bargaining. He tries to buy Tyrion off with better quarters.
And when the time is right, you'll be given a position fit for your talents, so that you can serve your family and protect our legacy.
He offers a job. He wants to keep Tyrion as a useful servant, a tool to be used, but never the master.
And if you serve faithfully, you'll be rewarded with a suitable wife.
He offers a structured life. He believes he needs to manage Tyrion because Tyrion cannot manage himself.
And I would let myself be consumed by maggots before mocking the family name and making you heir to Casterly Rock.
The mask breaks. Tywin loses his composure. The imagery, consumed by maggots, reveals a visceral, physical disgust. This isn't about logic anymore. It's about hate.
Why?
Tyrion is shocked by the brutality of the statement.
Why? You ask that?
Tywin is offended that Tyrion doesn't understand his own worthlessness.
You who killed your mother to come into the world?
This is the original wound. Joanna Lannister died giving birth to Tyrion. Tywin has never forgiven him. He doesn't see a son. He sees the murderer of his wife.
You are an ill-made, spiteful little creature, full of envy, lust, and low cunning.
This is pure psychological projection. Low cunning and ruthlessness are Tywin's defining traits. He hates Tyrion because Tyrion is a mirror, reflecting Tywin's soul back at him in a body he finds repulsive.
Men's laws give you the right to bear my name and display my colors, since I cannot prove that you are not mine.
Since I cannot prove you are not mine. That is the most devastating line. Tywin admits he has searched for a way to disown him legally, but biology has trapped him.
And to teach me humility, the gods have condemned me to watch you waddle about, wearing that proud lion that was my father's sigil and his father's before him.
Tywin views Tyrion not as a person, but as a divine punishment, a curse sent by the gods to mock his pride.
But neither gods nor men will ever compel me to let you turn Casterly Rock into your whorehouse.
Tywin's prejudice overrides the law. He will break the very traditions he claims to uphold just to keep the rock away from Tyrion.
Go now. Speak no more of your rights to Casterly Rock. Go.
The negotiation is over. Tyrion is dismissed, crushed, and erased.
And one more thing. The next whore I catch in your bed, I'll hang.
This is the moment Tywin seals his own fate. He issues this threat to control his son, but he is actually loading the weapon that will kill him. The whore he is threatening is Shae. This specific threat sets Tyrion on the path that ends in the Tower of the Hand with a crossbow. By trying to dominate his son through fear, Tywin ensures his own destruction. So this conversation isn't really about Casterly Rock or a father visiting a wounded son. It is about the fatal flaw in Tywin Lannister's definition of legacy. Tywin believes that a house is built on image. To him, the Lannister name must evoke gold, height, beauty, and perfection. He treats his children not as human beings, but as propaganda tools to maintain that image. But legacy isn't built on image, it's built on competence. And this is the tragedy of the scene. Tyrion is the only child who possesses Tywin's intellect, his political ruthlessness, and his ability to rule. He is the reality of Tywin's legacy. But because Tyrion does not fit the image, because he is a dwarf, because he represents the ugly parts of life, Tywin rejects him. Tywin is presented with a choice. He can have a successor who looks like a lion but acts like a fool, or a successor who looks like a monster but rules like a king. He chooses the image. He chooses the lie. And that choice is what ultimately destroys House Lannister. By rejecting the only person capable of protecting the family's future, Tywin proves that he cares more about his vanity than his survival. He thinks he is protecting the rock, but he is actually leaving it defenseless. The lesson here is brutal. If you build your power on pride rather than reality, you aren't building a dynasty, you're building a tomb. The tragedy of Tywin Lannister is that he spent his life building a house that would stand for 1,000 years, while simultaneously lighting the match that would burn it to the ground. Real power isn't just about crushing your enemies. It's about recognizing your allies, even when they don't look the way you want them to.